Hi, it's Marianne. Hey guys, let's make some sugar cookies. These are really nice. They're nice and crisp, and they're great to put in your cookie platters for Christmas, okay? These cookies that I'm going to show you, I baked them for 15 minutes. I don't know when I made the recipe if I was very clear, but they baked in 15. They have to be in the oven between 15 and 18 minutes. You know, each oven is different. But in 15, they were done. So just be careful to make sure you don't overcook them, okay? So let's make these. Let's start making our sugar cookies, okay? The first thing to do is to preheat the oven at 350 degrees and put your rack in the middle of the oven, okay? So that's the first thing to do. The second thing to do is we're gonna sift together our dry ingredients. I have 1 3/4 cups of flour in here with half a teaspoon of baking powder and half a teaspoon of table salt, okay? Make sure that you actually sift the whole thing through, okay? The hard stuff that stays on top, that's fine for you to get rid of. But you don't want you want to have the exact amount of dry ingredients to mix with your wet, because otherwise your cookies are not gonna come out as they're supposed to, okay? So here we're done. I'm just gonna get rid of those little hard particles that are on top. And now we'll start working on our cream. Okay, we're gonna cream together a cup of butter, that's 2 sticks, with a cup of granulated sugar, okay? I'm gonna use my stand-up mixer, and I'm gonna use my paddle attachment, okay? I'm going to go ahead and mix this for 3 minutes, about until it's nice and creamed, and then I'm gonna add an egg that's been sitting at room temperature, and I'm also gonna add half a teaspoon of vanilla, okay? The butter has been out for a little while, so it is softened and it is at room temperature. Okay, so I'm gonna go do that and I'll be right back. So this is nicely creamed. Make sure you move all the butter and sugar that's on the sides down into the middle of your bowl with a spatula, okay? I'm gonna add 1 large egg and half a teaspoon of vanilla to this. I'm gonna let it beat for another 2 or 3 minutes, okay? Now that this is nice and creamed with the egg and the vanilla, I'm gonna now put in my sifted flour, baking powder, and salt in this, okay? I'm going to reduce my mixer to low so that it doesn't go all over the place, and then we'll come back and we'll get these ready for the oven. So our dough is ready. Now, all I did when I put the flour in is mix it until it's well incorporated, and I stopped, okay? So that took about half a minute, and that's what I want you to do. I don't want you to beat this to death and then have a cookie that you need a hammer to eat, okay? So now let's get these ready, okay? I want you to put about a 1/4 cup of granulated sugar into a flat dish like this, okay? Because what we're gonna do is we're going to use a spoon and get a spoonful of dough, okay? And then we're just gonna roll it in the sugar like this, okay? And put it on in our baking sheet. Now, you're gonna want to put these about 3 inches apart from each other, because as you can see, they're mostly butter and they will spread, okay? So you don't want them to stick together on your pan. So be careful about that. Just do the rolling in the sugar and put it on your baking sheet 3 inches apart, okay? That's how I want you to place your cookies on your baking sheet, okay? Because they're mostly butter, they're gonna spread a lot. So if you put them closer, they will, you know, merge into each other and you'll have a big cookie mess, okay? We're gonna make these at the 350, which you already preheated, for between 15 and 18 minutes. You know, everybody's oven is different. So I'm gonna set it at 15 and then I'll check. What I need to see is that my edges are nicely browned, okay, and it's still soft in the center. Then we'll bring them out. So let me bake these and I will see you in a little while, okay? Look at these cookies. They're ready and they are great. I'm gonna get about 30 from this batch, but look at this. They're thin like a wafer. See, they're nice and browned on the sides, and they were soft when they came out of the oven. Now they got crisp, okay? They're very nice. If your cookies, you know, try and make your balls as even as you can, but if they end up merging together in the oven, don't freak out. Just use a table knife and separate them as soon as you take them out of the oven. Okay? Now make sure you leave these on the baking sheet for at least 2 minutes before you move them up onto your cooling rack. Also make sure you use a really thin spatula, okay? Because they're very delicate and they're very thin. Okay? So here you go, my friends. Sugar cookies from thefrugalchef.com. Eat well without going broke, and I will see you guys soon.